Okay, here I have an old piece of test equipment. Nice bit of Hewlett-Packard, back when they actually made good stuff. And it's a radiant flux meter, but I think the problem with this from memory is you need a particular sensor for it, which it didn't come with. But this was just one I saw in a junk store somewhere, and I thought, well, it's got a nice meter and stuff in it. It wasn't very expensive. Looks like it used to belong to the CSIRO. But I guess we could have a quick look in this. This has just been sitting under the bench for I don't know how long. Does it have some sort of... what is it? It's an 8330A. Is the model number. Calibration factor, milliwatts a centimetre squared. Microwatts a centimetre squared. Calibration, operate, 0, remove source. Oh, to calibrate it or zero it. Oh god, that switch isn't very good. Line on or off. I think it's basically a pretty obsolete old piece of junk really, especially without the detector. It's got an output for a recorder, it's got a blanking output. You can switch it to American or Australian type voltage. Made in the USA. Like I say, back when they used to make some very nice stuff. I'm not sure when this would be from, probably the 80s I guess. Oh, what have we got here? Something, oh, it's not corroded, I think it's just rubber going horrible. Looks like some sort of rubber, is it? As long as it's not some battery or something. Don't know what that is, and don't know what's under that either. Nice, God, it looks almost like gold-plated circuit board on the front. Got a rather interesting smell to it. Does smell like old rubbery sort of stuff. I don't know if it looks like you can take all the covers off this. I think it's only really good just to sit around and look at, and probably doesn't have really any other use than that. I'm sure there'll be much more accurate and better modern equipment to replace this sort of old thing, but gotta love the way these things are made after that comes off. It's just the panel, not the aluminium bit. Look at that, lovely old stuff. Sprague capacitors from USA. Circuit trim, oh yeah, IRC trim pots. Yeah, gold plating on there. It's got the Hewlett-Packard thing up there. Is that an IC in there? Some sort of, yeah, it's an IC. I'd say it going by the number of pins on it. But what it is another thing. Intersil. Intersil 7108. Caps and bits and pieces everywhere. Nothing much exciting in there. Hardly any semiconductors, or besides obviously dozens of transistors, but hardly any ICs. I think that's the only IC on that whole board. So it's got a nice big edge connector, so that obviously lifts out nicely. Yeah, I want to know what's on that bottom board now. Guess that's the power transformer on the back. Who knows what wonderful stuff they have in this old gear. What on earth is that? It looks rather nicely made, whatever it is, on a big solid block. What does that thing say on it? Have to remove this board to find out, I think. How does this board... You must unscrew the standoffs with it. I might have to pull that out and have a look. Pull that in tight. Probably nice stainless steel screws, just beautifully made, but they did cost a fortune, these things. But you still gotta love the over-engineering in them. Just because it was a thing once. So it comes out nicely. They only put gold on the pretty side. If it is gold, it could be anything. So we have a DC to AC chopper. Stevens Arnold's Incorporated, South Boston, Massachusetts. And chopper input transformer. Stevens Arnold's, no DC in windings. So what is it, like a vibrator or something? Is that what they mean? Or is it something more interesting than that? More modern? Oh, that does not want to move. I don't think that's been moved in a long time. On, off. Slide foot. Press, then slide foot. Oh, I see. To get it off, we go. That way. Oh, that one works. Well, then again, it didn't actually come off. What then gets it off? Well, I'm none the wiser. Guess I should look on the other side. Does this just all come off in one piece? Yeah. So that is, I don't think that's quite in the off position, is it? Oh, I see, that allows you, so that drop, so that's quite a clever design. Goes, lift that up and then it can slide through the little figure 8 thing. That bit is still attached, I think. If you push it hard enough, yeah, it does come off. Not so well engineered that, or something's changed size over the years or something, but they don't line up to the holes in the aluminium very well. So that's a bit of a letdown. I guess we could open this up and have a look maybe, or does it open something up, or does it all fall off? Because I have no idea what this stuff's about. What's this other board here do? That goes into the same area, so it's just sort of junction board or something. No idea what I'm looking at. Interesting. Got a nice old smell to it. Is about all. Oh, that is tight. Oh, might as well pull up the bits now, since it's not really good for anything. Anyway, I'm probably completely messing up the calibration or something. Well, it looks like it's got an internal calibration thing, so maybe not, but yeah, something's. I don't think that is just a cover. Oh, we've got a potted. Oh, remember the old horrible potted components now, and this sort of gives probably a good reason for it, but that's what they used to do. That's the rubbery stuff. I think you can actually dig that out if you need to. But yeah, there's a bunch of components, a couple of transistors I can see in there. Yeah, circuit board with resistors, some caps or something with HP. Are they read relays? Oh yeah, they are read relays, I think. HP read relays. Not much wire they'd do anything with. Yeah, what those things are, I don't know, but they look like they may well be potted inside as well. So that's no fun. Kind of looks cool. You could, I guess, get some old circuit boards. I think people did it. Didn't someone do a table with motherboards out of computers or something and put the, like, the clear epoxy resin stuff and make them all embedded in a sort of clear coated table? So they do kind of look cool in that way. Not good if you need to try and fix something in them. But yeah, nothing overly exciting in this thing, and virtually nothing worth anything for spare parts that you could use, you know, back in the kit building days or something. You'd salvage bits and pieces out of old gear like this if you came across it, but what does it line up with? There. But I don't think this one was much good for anything unless you needed an edge connector or a power socket or a BNC panel socket or something. So I think we'll just shove that back together. Quite a nicely made bit of panel meter there. Can't see, does it have a brand name? What is that? Just says base 5060 6015. and yeah, it measures irradiance, or at least displays irradiance levels on the meter. Chopper input transformer, DC to AC chopper. No, not exactly sure what the sensor is in it or why it needs all that stuff to run it. And virtually nothing on the front board. So yeah, interesting to have a look inside a bit of old gear like this and see how, you know, beautifully made with the sort of probably cast end plates, stainless screws, gold plated this and that, which at least it makes you get a few cents for it for ironing aluminium, if nothing else, which is probably where a lot of this stuff ended up going, unfortunately. But you know, how much of this obsolete equipment, I guess, can people keep? But I thought it looked kind of cool. It'd be nice to have a few things like analog meters on them again lying around, even though this is basically useless. Still not right. Why won't you go in there? Ah, it's got to pop up under there somewhere. And I'll put that board back in, I guess. That'd probably look quite good to sit in epoxy. At least it's got a lot of gold coated tracks in it, so that's quite a good looking thing, really. There's not many interesting components. Oh, there is another IC there. I didn't even notice that one staring me right in the face. Is it a Fairchild or something? No idea what it actually is. 20-216 7035. 70 could be the year it was made, even, who knows. A little pop core thing, little inductor wound on those sort of round ferrite things, some sort of transistor with a push on heatsink. And we've got another one here actually. Oh, it's not an IC, it's just a Motorola, don't know, is it an 1854-0003? So it's not even a 2N type transistor. Most of these are some sort of Motorola things, I think, just M036 and that sort of thing. So yeah, really nothing. Feel those little round dome top little transistors. Again, none of the numbers look like anything familiar. Yeah, nothing in it really of much value to anyone at all. Unless you know what those specific things are. They're probably all high quality mil-spec parts or something, and possibly good for something if you know what they actually are. But for the average person, not much use at all. But nice old bit of equipment. Worth a look. I've been meaning to have a look inside it just out of interest. But that just needs to go on a shelf somewhere to look good, I think. That's about it. In a stack of old test equipment just as a bit of a display piece. That's about all I'm going to use it for. So, thanks for watching.